You may be getting questions from parents, principals, teachers about a term called Zoom bombing. And I wanted to explain to you a little bit of what you can do to make sure you protect yourself and your students. When you set up a Zoom meeting, there's a lot of different options that you can select from. And my screen may look a little different than yours because I'm in a pro account. The personal meeting ID you see at the top of the screen, I have a red box on it. Every individual gets a personal meeting ID. And when you create a meeting, you should not post that meeting ID to a public site, such as the school's open website where anyone can see it. So, for example, in this tutorial, I've cut out that information. I wouldn't want my meeting ID in a YouTube video. You don't have to require a meeting password. It does add a layer of complexity for the students, so you can leave that unchecked. Additionally, you have an option to enable a waiting room. As of today, April 1st, Zoom has forced all education Zoom meeting rooms to check mark the Enable Waiting Room feature. When you start your Zoom session, you can move your mouse on the screen and down toward the bottom. You should see Manage Participants. You can see that with a red box around it at the bottom. Click that. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a Participants window open up. You'll see that you're in a waiting room, and then you'll notice above one person is waiting. This allows you to first bring in people that you don't know. So if there's a phone number that you don't recognize, you can bring that person in first and ask them to identify themselves. If there's a computer that you don't recognize, you can ask them to identify themselves. So this way you can admit one person at a time or remove them. When anyone's admitted to the room, you can hover your mouse over the phone number or the screen name and click the More button, and you have some choices, one of which is to rename the person. And so in this case, I've taken the phone number and I'm renaming it to my student Mike, and then I'll click Rename. And I can use this same button to put this person in the waiting room or actually remove them altogether from the Zoom conference meeting. And it's perfectly fine to post your Zoom meeting invitation in your Google Classroom or through an email. And you'll even notice in this video, since I'm posting it to YouTube, I've blocked out my Zoom meeting IDs in the screens with red boxes. We're protecting our student information. They don't have to have a Zoom account to join a meeting. And when you end Meeting for All, if you're recording the file, since you have a free Zoom account, you only have the option to save it to your computer hard drive, so you're not saving the file in the Zoom cloud space. The best practice is to upload your file to a secure place like your Google Drive account for the classroom. I would suggest renaming the file, just so that it's easier for people to understand what each video represents. And then click on the file name and go to the sharing options, the little person in the corner of the screen, and then choose the word advanced. To make it most secure, you'll want to change it so that only specific people can access the video. And the most secure option is that only anyone in your school with the link can view it. And then you'll be able to go to the copy link option and use that link in your Google Classroom. So by making sure that you set the appropriate protections by not posting your meeting room online, by using a waiting room, and then safely and securely sharing videos, you and your students can safely work together online.